everything that's being said, and then you judge the price action if it is confirming what you're listening. If it is confirming what you're listening, then take it in the same direction. If the price action is going in the opposite direction of what you hear in the news or what the fundamental common sense is explaining, or then you actually take the trade and double it down. So you take twice as much on the opposite side. So something like this here. Everybody in his right mind was saying, go short. You cannot buy, you cannot short the Aussie against the Euro. It's impossible. You don't do that. This is the hard trade. But in this case, when this is the against the common sense or the common wisdom, then actually this trade that you take twice as much. You take twice as much, because your rewards are going to be bigger, because the more people will realize their mistake, the more explosive that move that's going to follow, because now they are really getting into trouble. So this is your gauge that you can maximize your returns by, and these are the best trades in the world, that you have the fundamentals saying going south and the price action is going north. You just double down. Anyway, okay, so we did the euro dollar, and now the next one we're going to do is the Aussie dollar. Might as well do the Aussie dollar. And the Aussie dollar is our dear friend, our fantastic friend. I mean, this the Aussie has been brilliant, and it is respecting those structural points as, and look at this, you're short from the structure point from last week at 104.44. It is now 142.26.65. So we had a nice move to the downside, and the Aussie will keep on doing what it is, or it has been doing it all the last several weeks since it is inside this chain. The bias is to the downside, so we still want to be shorting the Aussie dollar. We're looking for it to come down to test the 103.94, and most probably it will break it, and the next break below the 103.94, it is going to go to the 103.31, and on breaking that it will go to the 102.24 and then the 101.82. These numbers, I'm reciting them from memory because they have been so predictive, and they have been, the Aussie has been observing them quite well than we are. So right now the 2 daily low is the 104.27. we are below 2 days low. All what we did, we had this little snapback yesterday. This low is 141.74. So we just had it, and as you can see, the trend pretty much is to the downside. So breaking below the previous daily low, which is the 104.17, that will be our short entry. So we're going to short it below $104.17. I think we need to give it, make it a little, give it a little bit more. Have to I'll put it below this side of the range. I'll make it 104.10. Technically it should be 104.17, but just to be on the, because you guys, or the guys that doesn't have the software, I don't want them to jump into the trade, so I will put it 104.10, and we're going to place our stop right above the 104.30, and the structure short point is the 103.94. That's on the short side. Going long, if you look at the intraday chart, that is your trend. That here is your, I mean, if we're going to assume that any of these is the failure, then our structural place where we can buy it is the 104.38, and we do have a structural short point which is the 104.43, so there is no point for us to buy it unless it goes above the 104.43 structural point. We're sitting, as you can see, we actually did fail to go above it on Friday, so that's why I'm going to buy it only when it gets back above it the next time. That's going to be my long point. And it is going to be my stop. So if it gets above the structural point over here, I'm going to buy it, which is right there. That's going to be my long point, and it's going to be my structure and my stop. On the short side, I'm going to short it below 104.10, so it's below the range. I'm going to put my stop above the 104.30 right there, and my structural short point is the 103.94. Okay, that is the Aussie dollar right there. Right, so let me save that.